Welcome to the chilling history of one of America's most notorious and haunted prisons, Eastern State Penitentiary. Once a revolutionary institution meant to reform criminals through isolation, its dark past has left a mark not only on its crumbling walls but in the whispers of those who dare visit. From its infamous inmates like Al Capone to the countless souls who spent years in solitary confinement, the stories of suffering, despair, and paranormal activity have turned this abandoned fortress into one of the most haunted places in the world. Join us as we uncover the eerie history and hauntings of Eastern State Penitentiary. Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is one of the most infamous prisons in American history, both for its groundbreaking design and the chilling tales of hauntings that have emerged from within its walls. History, opening and design. The prison opened in 1829, designed by architect John Haviland, and was one of the first in the world to experiment with a system of solitary confinement. This concept was intended to reform prisoners by giving them time to reflect on their actions in isolation. The design was radical for its time, featuring a wagon wheel shape with cell blocks radiating out from a central hub. Each inmate had their own cell, complete with a skylight meant to symbolize the eye of God. Inmates. Eastern State housed some of America's most notorious criminals, including mobster Al Capone, who served a brief sentence in a surprisingly comfortable cell in 1929, and bank robber Willie Sutton. Conditions in the prison were brutal, with solitary confinement often lasting for years, which led to severe psychological distress in many inmates. Decline and closure. Over time, the solitary confinement model was deemed inhumane, and the prison shifted to a more traditional system. By the mid-20th century, Eastern State was overcrowded, and its aging facilities were in poor condition. It closed in 1971, after over 140 years of operation. Haunting and paranormal activity. Eastern State Penitentiary is widely considered one of the most haunted places in the world. Its history of isolation, despair, and violence has led to many reports of ghostly encounters. Cell Block 12. One of the most active areas, with reports of disembodied laughter, whispers, and shadowy figures. Cell Block 4. Visitors have reported seeing the apparition of a guard in one of the towers and hearing footsteps echoing down the long corridors. Al Capone's cell. Capone is said to have been haunted by the ghost of James Clark, one of the victims of the St. Valentine's Day massacre, during his time at Eastern State. Witnesses claim Capone often screamed in terror, begging for forgiveness. Death row. There are frequent reports of cold spots, shadowy figures, and mysterious voices near the prison's death row section. Modern day. Today, Eastern State operates as a museum and historic site. It offers regular tours, and around Halloween, it hosts a popular haunted attraction called Terror Behind the Walls, where actors and special effects immerse visitors in the eerie atmosphere. The combination of its grim past and the countless ghost stories have cemented Eastern State Penitentiary as one of America's premier locations for paranormal investigations. Many ghost hunting shows, such as Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures, have filmed there, adding to its reputation as a paranormal hotspot. Here are ghost stories and paranormal experiences from Eastern State Penitentiary. The locksmith's terrifying experience. A locksmith working to restore the prison had an encounter he could never forget. While repairing a cell door in Cell Block 4, he claimed that a force overcame him, making it impossible to continue his work. The locksmith reported seeing a spectral figure standing in the doorway and hearing disturbing, disembodied voices. According to his account, the air grew freezing cold, and the faces of tortured prisoners seemed to appear on the cell walls, crying out in agony. The man in the guard tower. Several visitors have reported seeing a shadowy figure standing in the old guard tower, despite the tower being inaccessible to the public. The figure is often described as a tall man, dressed in what appears to be a guard's uniform. Some witnesses claim that the figure vanishes as they get closer, while others say they've heard faint footsteps coming from the tower. The ghostly warden. Some visitors have reported seeing the figure of a man who they believe is one of the prison's wardens, still patrolling the grounds in the afterlife. This ghost is often seen standing near the entrance to the administrative offices, where he appears to be keeping an eye on the property. Witnesses have described him as stern, with cold eyes that seem to stare right through them before disappearing. The cackling woman. Multiple guests have reported hearing the eerie sound of a woman cackling in various parts of the prison. The chilling laughter is said to echo through the empty halls, especially at night, growing louder the closer one gets to the source. Despite many attempts, no one has ever found the source of the disturbing sound, and no women were known to be incarcerated in the prison, leading many to believe it is a tormented soul trapped within the walls. These tales add to the rich lore and haunting reputation of Eastern State Penitentiary, making it a true hotspot for ghost hunters and thrill-seekers alike. As the sun sets over the towering stone walls of Eastern State Penitentiary, the echoes of its past continue to stir. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the oppressive, lingering energy that fills its corridors. From shadowy figures to unexplained voices, Eastern State's legacy goes beyond history books into the realm of the unknown. Thank you for joining us on this haunting journey. Don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into the world's most mysterious and haunted locations.